It's week 2 of the National Football League, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Broncos coming up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. And he's going to have a Broncos first down as he gets it up past the 35. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. On 2nd down, Williams. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Neal. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
A good gain on first. Has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down. They'll try the left side. Porter. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
This defense for the Broncos, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
And that one off the mark, a little late with the throw. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field.
Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. They'll run it with Williams.
And he's going to have a Broncos first down. His good running gets him to about the 44.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
A pair of first downs gives him a first and 10 up at the 44. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
On third and 2, Neal. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
first down. Neal. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Back to throw. Neal.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Neal. He's going to wind up and air it out.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And a good result there, as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here, as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Barber, he's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Taken in at the 11.
Here we go. Here we go.
And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos.
They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Off play action. Neal. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. From the gun, Neal. This is intercepted. Picked off at the 35. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And it's now a 7-2 ball game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field.
And now following the safety, they'll have the football with a chance to take the lead as they begin following the free kick with a 1st and 10.
Throwing after the interception, Neal. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
That's not good enough, man.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Looking to throw, Neal. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him, complete. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And that is incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Throwing on 1st down. Barber. And can you believe it? It's a 2nd safety in this ball game. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Fielded at about the 28.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited, let's go.
Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field.
And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On the counter, here's Williams. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll be the call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So here are the Saints to take over. They were losers last week to Carolina, but they've got the lead here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Barber. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
People got the popcorn, got the remote. Let's give them a
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Porter. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake. Barber. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Barber. He's going to float this one deep right side. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big-time play there for New Orleans.
In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
Back to throw. Barber. This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's the fullback. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And, boy, that was a heavy set. I think they had 3 tight ends out there. The fullback, you knew what they were going to do.
Yeah, they weren't trying to fool anybody at all, were they? There was none of this show you heavy set, bootleg it out. Nah. Big guys up front, hand it to the big guy in the backfield.
Now for the point after. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field.
And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with a run so far. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Neal, he finds his man, complete. It's Franklin. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Neal. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Neal. Under pressure, they got him again. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and forever. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good.
43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Barber. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the Saints punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field.
He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Looking to throw on second down. Neal, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
That's into the hands of Edwards. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
The Broncos send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here.
There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
To throw on second down, Barber. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. On third down, it's Porter. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
The Broncos going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag. And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
1st and 10. Neal.
And he almost had his second pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
He finds his man, complete. That's Edwards. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. And his kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We begin with two franchises who came into the NFL.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
Let's go.
And the Saints set to go here to begin the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the fort.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sand.
This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Looking to throw. Barber. And this is going to be incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And this one is incomplete. Here comes the Saints punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
On second down, it's Williams. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Neal. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
The Saints again ready to go on offense.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
So mark off the yardage for roughing the passer.
And I've seen this before. On a screen pass, not only are you rushing the passer, you're rushing him deeper than normal. And I think a little frustration kicks in at the end. You're going to hit him anyway when you shouldn't.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Looking to throw. Barber.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides, and there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Denver's offense ready to go again.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the ground, this is Williams. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Second and 11 now.
Williams looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Neal.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. On first down, Barber. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield.
Let's go!
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
On second down now, it's Porter. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Looking to throw. Barber. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here comes the Saints punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Now, if you're a fan of punting, this game's for you. He's been out there quite a bit. That one maybe his best yet.
Yeah, he certainly got his leg loose by now. It kind of reminds me of my college football coach, John Majors. He loved the punting game because he liked the positioning, the field position, and he loved to play defense.
They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And he'll find a little space. He gets this up near the 10. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Neal. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. On third down, Whitehead. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Looking to throw on second down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taken in at the 22. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. To throw on second down. Neal. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this is caught inside the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A huge play there for Denver.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Williams will score. Touchdown, Broncos. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And an important one that is, as we are tied now early in this 4th quarter. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it was capped off by a Javonte Williams touchdown.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
On 1st down, Porter. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Barber. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress. And I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Taking it about the 16. Powerful running. A 57-yard punt, 11 on the return. Denver's offense now set to go. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. They begin the drive with Williams. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Off play action. Neal. He finds his man, complete. That's Edwards. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different. Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Back to throw. Neal. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender. Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A give to Williams, running right. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 92 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut. Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Neal. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Williams. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Have to kick this field goal, don't you? No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick here is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over. It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so.
But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
They'll run on first down. It's Porter, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Barber. He finds his man. Complete. It's Young. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 23. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On 2nd down, it's Williams. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
135 yards rushing for him now as this sensational afternoon continues.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Throwing on first down, Neal. And he's taken down here by the Saints. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Neal. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
On 1st and 10, Barber. Pressure comes and down he goes. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Back to throw. Barber. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. The Saints on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and a mile. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
Now this is where field awareness comes into play. He's getting perilously close to his own goal line, and after that sack, backed up to his own 2.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete.
Let's go.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Javonte Williams with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Broncos are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, this, of course, set up by the stop a moment ago on 4th down, and now that might be the score that puts this one officially out of reach.
And it's a tough one because your hands are tied when you're losing in the 4th quarter because you know you've got to make something happen. They couldn't pick up the 1st down, and after that, the air just went right out of the balloon, and you knew you were looking at a defeated team.
No problem there on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So all eyes on the Saints offense. Down on the scoreboard. 1:55 remaining. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10. On 1st down, Barber. And he's got his man in stride, complete. The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Barber. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 33, and they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They run it again with Williams. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. From the gun on 3rd down, Neal. And this is going to be incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive.
And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
First down now, but that clock rolling. He finds his man, complete. That's Young. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Now the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And the Broncos are able to recover, and that should just about wrap this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now the Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they will take a knee here.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are looking at 2-0 right now. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and it took a big fourth quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though, a few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the fourth quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball, holding them when they needed to, and finding ways to get points.